If you're watching this, this means you were just like me. It was down to the wire, and you're just about out of time. When I was a sophomore in high school, I was getting terrible grades. I was almost failing every single class. Every class but probably PE. How do you fail PE? It was bad. This was my track record in every class, every year up until this point. It wasn't just sophomore year, it was freshman year, it was 8th grade, 7th grade. It probably all started maybe 6th grade. But in high school, this is where the pressure was really turned up. I was failing every class. I had no desire to do any type of schoolwork whatsoever. I was antisocial, and the list goes on. It just kept getting worse for me. My mental state was terrible. I'd go home from school, I'd eat 30,000 bowls of cereal, grab a couple scoops of ice cream, and then hop straight on the video games. That was my routine. I'll play until maybe 11, 12 p.m. Then I'd hop off the game. I was playing with the guys, by the way. I'd hop off the game, hop in my bed, hop straight on my phone and watch YouTube videos. Just binge watch YouTube videos for the rest of the night until maybe 3, 4 a.m. Knowing that I gotta be up at like 6 o'clock in the morning because I gotta get ready to school. I gotta be at the bus stop at, 7 o'clock? So I knew that I was gonna be tired, but I still watched the videos anyway. And maybe have some extracurricular activities. What a shame. I know. So that was a cycle. It was a cycle that was repeating itself. So then on top of that, I had to wake up in the morning in a rush. I had to rush to the bus stop, grab my stuff and just run. And it was 50-50 I was gonna make the bus or not. You know I'm already sleeping through my alarm. I didn't hear it. I only got 2 hours of sleep at this point. This is an everyday thing for me. So then luckily I'd make the bus more often than not because you get supersonic speed when you're late. And then you don't want to ask your dad if he could take you to school. So you make the bus. So I'd make the bus, get on the bus, get to first period, and this is where all hell breaks loose. This is when the teacher asks you, everybody, take out your Chromebooks, take out your laptops. I take mine out, well, bam, it's dead. What do you know? Dead Chromebook, no energy. My clothes are probably mix and match. My skin's dry. I done had a long night. I got no energy whatsoever. And now my Chromebook is dead. And then he says on top of that, we got a quiz today. We've got a quiz. Just what I wanted to hear. I didn't study. I done procrastinated all day yesterday by playing video games. I done completely blew off my homework. And now we got a quiz? Lucky me. Lucky me. So now I got a quiz. My computer is dead. And now I don't have a charger. So I gotta raise my hand, ask my teacher, hey, or one of my friends, or not even my friends, somebody in the class, does anybody have an extra computer charger? Quite embarrassing at this point. I'm embarrassed. See, I'm black. I probably still turned red. People say I turn yellow when I blush, but I don't see it. But I had to ask for a computer charger. So then I take the quiz after I finally get a computer charger after being ridiculed by my teacher and laughed about my classmates for not being prepared because it's a reoccurring thing. So after this, I take the quiz. I'm staring at the quiz. I'm taking it, knowing for a fact that I failed this thing. For a fact. A fact. Submit the quiz, failed it. Probably got like a 40 out of 100, if that. That's just being lucky, being generous. And on top of that, my crush is in this class as well. So that wasn't any better. Because now I'm really looking goofy. I'm ruining any chance I had. Wasn't happening. But anyways, aside from the quiz, this was my cycle. This was the cycle for weeks on end, for months. For literally months. For like the whole year. All of sophomore year. This is probably the worst year of my life when it comes to school. It was literally coming up to the last wire. And then I get one of those nice little slips that says, go to the dean's office at like 9:15 or something. It's like, sweet. Just my cup of tea. So I go down to the dean's office and I have to speak to my counselor, as a matter of fact. And he says, yeah, buddy, so it's either you pass the rest of your classes before the end of the year, or you got to go to summer school. If you don't pass summer school, then you're not going to be able to graduate your class. You're going to be a year behind. So I'm like, yo, this is absurd. And that puts some fear into my stomach because now I got to tell my parents. I got to tell my parents that I'm either about to fail this class or fail this grade. And on top of that, I got to go to summer school that I got to pay for. So that knot to my stomach was beyond me. And mind you, this is how I lived for years, bro. And this was the breaking point. This is when I had my realization that all my friends that I'm playing Xbox with, joking with at lunch, messing around with in class, they were all going to graduate. They all had their stuff together. They're all going on to junior year. So I'm in summer school, doing my classes, and fortunately, I passed. And I realized that, well, now, the fight isn't done yet. I still have junior and senior year. My knowledge wasn't adequate enough for junior or senior year when it comes to like algebra and like calculus. Or I needed a plan. I needed a system. I needed a blueprint. And this is where it all started for me. This is where my self-development really kicked off. This is when I learned that my life is in my hands, that it's up to me to make my life happen. So it was during this time, after the summer ended and junior year started, where that summer for me was very transformational. I created a system and a blueprint like no other. The time that I woke up, the time I was going to do my homework, the time I was going to eat, the time I was going to sleep, everything throughout my day was systemized. I had a system for every single thing I did every single day to guarantee me my success so I can pass my classes, because it was multiple. Without that plan, without me writing out a blueprint, I would have not have graduated. So that was big for me. In my mind, I was a failure. For years leading up to that point, I was stuck in a pit of despair. But that wake-up call, knowing that it was now or never, that really changed my life. That changed my mindset. So with me having the system in place now, I stuck to it. I did my best to stick to it as much as I could. Don't get me wrong, I had my ups and downs. I had my defeats. But I wanted to graduate so bad that I was going to do whatever it took in order to graduate with my class. At this point, it was for nobody else but me. Not for my friends. It was for me and my parents as well. So after I get to junior year, then I create an even stricter plan in order to win for the whole year. I knew that I had to be at school at the bus stop at 7. So I started waking up at 5. I'd wake up at 5. I'd start to read books. And then I'd write and journal. And I'd write my day out from top to bottom, literally from the time that I woke up to the time I go to sleep, and everything that I would do throughout the day, task by task. I didn't skip one singular thing throughout that day. I check everything off the list. So after I do my writing for the day, I do my shower, and now I'm early to the bus stop every day. Early to the bus stop. And at this point, I wasn't just behind when it comes to my grades. I was behind in life. I didn't have a job. I wasn't in any clubs, in any sports. I had barely any friends, no money. I didn't even have a car or my permit or driver's license. Not my permit, but I had my driver's license and no car. So now I'm a junior, still taking the bus. No early releases for me, no work program for me. So I'm literally stuck at school. I'm literally stuck at school for the whole day. All my friends are leaving early. All my friends are driving to school. All my friends are working. So I was the oddball out. I was behind, at least for the time being. At least for the time being. But some things change. You could change. I changed. For the better, as a matter of fact. And I became a different person in the process. But Now the roles are reversed. I get down to the end of the year. I get down to the end of the year, and this was just about when COVID started, and I started to really have the slightest glow up, this absolute slightest glow up, right? And then this is when I came and crossed paths with my crush again. And things were going good. Things were going great. I'd made more progress with her than I ever have before, interaction wise. You can ask my best friend at the time how excited I was about our conversations and everything. You can ask him. I had some stories to tell about that. But things were going good between me and her for a good week. And then guess what? COVID hits. COVID hits. Freaking COVID hits, man. And guess what? Now we're homebound, and now I don't see her again. I was pissed. Anyways, I stuck to the plan. I continued to do my work. So my brother lives in California, what he did at the time. So I flew out there and lived out there for 3 months. 3 months out of the school year, the first 3 months of the school year. Guess what? Shorty's in a couple of my classes. I go, oh, nice. Actually, I remember this, I think it was math class. She added me on Snap. But long story short, I stuck to the plan. And the last year of high school, senior year, I got it together. I did what I had to do. And I was on a very great trajectory. I stuck to every plan that I set and accomplished every goal that I set for myself. And I finished the year strong and I graduated. During that last 2 years of high school, the amount of things that I learned and implemented system-wise, process-wise, mindset-wise, lifestyle-wise, there is one constant throughout all of this. One constant. One of these, a pen, and one of these, a notebook. This thing held me accountable. And to this day, it still does. Being 21 years old. From maybe 14, 15 until now, I have maybe 15 journals, 15 notebooks, front to back, filled with every thought and every single thing that I've done on the daily basis to get to where I'm at today. That's the blueprint. That's the limitless blueprint. And that changed my life from the inside out. That helped me build my confidence, my mindset, my perspective, my opinions, my views, and every single lesson that I've learned when it comes to money, women, people, and above all else, myself. So with that being said, there is a way for you to get out of your situation. However, you need to know this. The urgency needs to be there. It's coming down to the wire. You graduate soon. You need to graduate. You need to make sure you do whatever it takes in order to get past that finish line, to power through it, to become the best. Because by doing so, by buckling down, creating the plan and the system, you can make it out. Fortunately for you, I created a blueprint. I have the blueprint. So if anything, click the link below. I have a newsletter that describes literally everything that I did on the daily basis and every system that I used in order to become limitless. So click the link below, join my newsletter, and get the Limitless Lifestyle Blueprint. You won't regret it. I guarantee that. So with that being said, it changed my life. And I guarantee it will change yours too. If you want to graduate, if you want to become that second version of yourself, that version of yourself that wins, that version of yourself that is good with people, good with women, you would click it. For your own good. But if anything, I hope you took some away from this video. And with that being said, live a limitless lifestyle.